Welcome to the Candidates Forum presented by the League of Women Voters of Northwest Wayne County. My name is Angela Ryan and I am president of the Northwest Wayne County League. Tonight we have a three-part forum. We welcome the candidates running in the primary for the partial terms for the Sumpter Township Clerk, Treasurer, and Board of Trustees. The primary election is August 7th, and the winner in each party's election will face off against each other and any third-party candidates in the November election. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization. We do not support or oppose any candidate running for any office. The League does take positions on issues after careful study, so you may see our name attached to an issue that we are advocating for or opposing. Membership in the League is open to all citizens who are at least 16 years old. So if you're interested in joining this public service organization, please let us know. Membership applications are available here tonight. They look like this. They're on the table out there. You can also join us at our website, which is northwestwayne.org. The League's main mission is to promote political responsibility through informed and active participation in government. One of the ways we do that is by having forums such as this one tonight. The League has also prepared a nonpartisan voter guide which can be found online at www.vote411.org. By typing in your voting address, you can view the races on your primary ballot and the candidates' responses to questions posed by the League, which we do not edit or change in any way. It is in their words. You can also find the link to the voter guide on our website, lwvnorthwestwayne.org. These addresses are provided on these free bookmarks, which are also on the table out there, so please pick one up on your way out. If you would like to ask questions of the candidates, and we certainly encourage this, please write your question on a card and hand it to one of the ushers in the aisle. I will be one of those ushers, so you'll know who you're looking for. Our moderator will ask as many questions as time allows. Questions should be brief, to the point, and should not include personal attacks on the candidates. They should also be questions that are directed to all of the candidates, not to any one candidate. We reserve the right to screen the questions for duplication and clarity. At this time, we would ask all of our audience members to please be sure your cell phones are silenced or turned off. Many voters don't understand the importance of voting in a primary election. If you don't vote in a primary, it is very possible that your favorite candidate will not even be on the ballot in November. Remember that you must choose either a Republican, Democratic, or Libertarian ballot in the primary. You can only vote for candidates in the party that you select. This rule applies just to the primary election in August. In the general election in November, you can cross party lines and vote for any candidate you like. The views expressed in this forum are those of the candidates and not of the League of Women Voters. At this time, I'd like to introduce our moderator, League Vice President Paula Bowman, who will provide you with more details about tonight's forum.
Thanks, Angela. Good evening. My name is Paula Bowman. I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of Northwest Wayne County. I do not live in Sumpter Township, so of course I would not be participating in your election. We're pleased that you all could join us tonight as we hear from the Sumpter Township candidates running in Michigan's primary election for the Township Clerk, Treasurer, and member of the Board of Trustees. Each of these elections are a result of an unexpected vacancy for each of the offices. The winners of the November election will serve a partial term that ends November 20th, 2020. Our forum is in three parts. The first half hour will be devoted to the three Democratic candidates running in the primary for the Township Clerk position. There are no Republican or Libertarian candidates running for clerk. After a short break to change candidates, we'll see the Democratic Township Treasurer candidates. Again, no Republican or Libertarian candidates running for treasurer. And then at 8 o'clock, we will see the three Democratic and one Republican candidates running for the trustee position. As Angela said, our questions tonight are coming from the audience, and we've also received a few that have been emailed to us in advance. Each candidate is allowed a 1-minute opening opening statement, a 1-minute response to all the questions, and a 1-minute closing statement. We'll rotate the order that the candidates answer the questions. League members Lena Packer and Virginia Belinsky will be our timers tonight. They'll be holding up cards so that the candidates know when their time is up. We're going to begin with a forum for the Township Clerk. There are 3 candidates running in the Democratic primary. They are Sheena Barnes, Tony Clark, and Esther Hurst. I'm sorry to say that we have not been able to welcome Ms. Clark yet, but perhaps she will join us later. We're going to begin our 1-minute opening statement with Ms. Barnes. If you could please introduce yourself and give your opening statement.
Hello, my name is Sheena Barnes. I am a Democrat and I am running for Township Clerk. I am willing to serve the community, and my main goal is to implement change and to bring recreational parks to the parks and recs. I would like to really work with the young people, some after-school programs, things that we don't have in our community for the township. I think she hoped, I think my 30 seconds is up.
You gotta give it, yeah.
Okay.
No, you have another 30 seconds.
Oh,
Keep going.
I can keep going?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
The
sorry.
red one is the bad one.
Oh, okay. I would love to be able to bring after-school programs into Sumpter Township, something that we haven't had here in probably 30 years. There's nothing, no after-school programs that I can remember for the youth for Sumpter Township. In fact, here in the community center, this is a community center, and a community center is for people to gather for social events, such as this event that we have here, or educational programs. So that's the end of it.
That will be it. Ms. Hurst, your opening statement.
Friends and fellow residents, I would like to thank the Women's League for hosting this event. I am Esther Hurst, your current clerk. I am experienced and dependable. I started working in the clerk's office in 1986 as a CETA worker, and I worked my way up to deputy clerk. I understand the multitude of hats this position requires. I am the senior citizen liaison. I am knowledgeable in current election laws, the ZBA, Planning Commission, and Parks and Recreation are boards that I have been on. My dedication, qualifications, and personal relationship with the residents continue to make me an excellent choice for clerk.
Thank you, Ms. Hurst. We'll start the first question with Ms. Barnes. You'll want to drag over the microphone there. And this is the question. The city clerk's work requirements include many administrative duties, including voucher and contract oversight. What administrative positions have you held in the past 10 years that make you qualified to hold this position?
I have no experience as a clerk. However, I am willing to learn and to implement leadership in the administration office of the clerk's office to be able to run smoothly, making sure that the filing is properly being filed, because I know in the clerk's position it entails of record keeping, filing, and being able to give proper information to the residents when they come to get the information. Because sometimes they come and they get different information. I've heard people complain about the old administration that they don't get the information that they're looking for. I'm here to give good leadership, quality leadership. I'm willing to learn. Of course, I don't have the experience that Esther Hurst has, because she's been on the board or in the administration for over 30 years.
Thank you. Ms. Hurst, if you need me to repeat it, I'd be happy to. The city clerk's work requirements include many administrative duties, including voucher and contract oversight. What administrative positions have you held in the past 10 years that make you qualified to hold this position?
Well, I have been in Sumpter Township for over 30 years in the clerk's office. I have seen many contracts over the years. We have a very good record-keeping system. I would like to upgrade the system to be put on files that you could look up in the computer so that when people go on the website, they could look up our stuff. Currently, we have our municipal code where if you need to look any ordinances up, we do have that. It is important in the clerk's office because we have a multitude of duties there that everything is kept current. The minutes, the zoning board of appeals, the parks and recreation minutes. It's a very tedious duties, and I am willing to make sure that it's all correct.
Thank you. Hang on to the microphone. We'll have you respond to the second question first. Would you support no reason absentee voting or early voting to make voting more convenient to voters?
Absolutely. I've always wanted this for years, but we have to go with our Senate and House. They have to actually vote on this stuff in order for us to have it. But it would make it a lot easier for our residents to vote if we had early voting.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
Yes, I agree also that early voting would help for our organization here at Sumpter Township, that if we had early voting, it would help bring out the multitude of people that can't get out and vote. So yes, I do agree with Esther as well.
Okay, Ms. Barnes, we'll start this third question with you. What would you do to ensure that meetings are civil, courteous, and productive and promote unity?
It's to be, I'm used to being a servant to the community, is to give a good product of service, to give out accurate information, and to be able to work with the people in the office and ask questions to things that I don't know of, and to learn along the way, and also take classes to learn how to be a clerk, such as Esther is. Looking to give the best that I can give to my community. A good product of service, accurate, not coming in and getting one information and leaving out and coming back and you have something completely different. I would love to have the opportunity to be a good product of service to my community and give out accurate information.
Thank you. Ms. Hurst, same question?
Well, meetings are very important, and the residents need to be able to have their say at the meetings. When things become unruly, we need to go back to the Robert's Rules of Order, and we need to follow that and make things flow nicely, because a meeting that is disruptive is not conducive to the for anyone to participate in our meetings. They'll want to stay away. We don't want to be reality TV. We want to be productive and get our work done.
Ms. Hurst, this next question, we'll start with you. What are your ideas on promoting business in our community? For instance, shopping areas, doctor or dentist's offices.
Well, that is very important to our future in this township. If we don't bring businesses in, we will not be able to survive. Currently, we're on the landfill royalties. Well, that's not going to last forever. So I've been reaching out to the Dollar General store and trying to get a local store in our community. They tell me that they're looking into being able to put one here, but it's going to take some time. They don't want to reach too much, get too far out there yet. But they will continue to keep talking with us, and hopefully in the future we could have a small little shopping mall here.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
having a small business as I have myself, coming from a family in business, I would love to see this township grow. However, I was a person that was for the medical marijuana industry, hoping that it would bring in businesses to Sumpter, because the Michigan medical marijuana industry is coming to Michigan, and I thought that it would be something good for our community to bring in the medical marijuana industry to help implement good businesses, maybe a McDonald's, maybe a Dollar General, something to bring to our community besides the dump. Due to the fact that we have two in our township, it's not nothing too much that a lot of business owners really want to come to Sumpter, maybe because we don't have much to offer, because we have.
Thank you. Ms. Burns, hang on to that. You'll begin the next question. Please describe the notification process for a public hearing.
Would you repeat that? Because I don't want to.
Please describe the notification process for a public hearing.
I cannot answer that question. I don't want to pretend like I know what it means, because I don't, to be honest with you.
Thank you. Ms. Hurst?
The notification process is you go 300 feet around the property, and you get all the property owners within that district. You also you send them letters telling them about the public hearing, and you also put an ad in the newspaper that has to be done 30 days prior to a hearing, and then you conduct the public hearing.
Thank you. Ms. Hurst, we'll have you answer this next question first. What can you do as clerk to increase voter turnout?
Well, to increase voter turnout, it would be just by advertising in our Sumpter paper that we have, advertising in our paper of record. When they go to the driver's license, they are also registered to vote there. But just encourage people to know that their vote counts. Don't think that, gosh, if I stay home, it'll pass, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. Every vote counts.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes? What can you do as clerk to increase voter turnout?
I would think to get out, meet people, maybe have a voter drive or some type of program that would bring in to encourage young people to be encouraged to vote, because a lot of young people don't get out and vote. I would think that would be something good that we could do, or the township, or I would encourage to get young people to vote. Yeah, that's what I think I could do.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes, we'll start with you on this next one. Are there any changes you see needed in the clerk's office? What are they?
Implementing leadership, giving good, constructive information, and making sure that the residents are getting the information that they need and not leaving without the information that they came there for. For instance, if a person needed some information from the Freedoms of Information Act, encourage them and tell them the steps to take to get the information, instead of discouraging them and telling them that they can't get the information that they need. I think that Sumpter Township, because of our past administration leadership, I have heard people have complaints about how the clerk office is being ran, because they leave there mad, more angry than they were when they came, because they did not get the information that they come there for. So if I had the opportunity, I would try to implement the best leadership and give them the information.
Thank you. Ms. Hurst?
Can Can you repeat the question,
Sure.
please?
Are there any changes you see needed in the clerk's office? If so, what are they?
Upgrading our systems is very important. Over the years, after being there for 30-some years, I would like to see a central file system where when you come to the township to get information, you would go in one area to get it, and you'd have it all. You wouldn't have to go to the water department to get that records. You wouldn't have to go to the treasurer's office to get that, or the building department to get this. If we had a central filing system, it would be so convenient for the residents, and that's something that I'd like to institute and try to have happen within the next 2 years.
Thank you. We'll start with you again, Ms. Hurst. What are some of the challenges that you as a township clerk would have with the county clerk?
Well, we have meetings once every quarter with the county clerk, but in between, we are welcome to call the county at any time, and they give us information as needed. So just working with our county clerk would be very beneficial.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
Well, I haven't had the experience of being a clerk, so that would be an information that I couldn't really speak on. However, I know that the challenges that I've had just being a trustee has been very challenging, just being a trustee on the board.
Thank you. We're going to begin our closing statements now with Ms. Hurst. Actually, we're going to start with Ms. Hurst. If you could give your 1-minute closing statement, please.
At the end of this evening, I hope that you will have a better understanding of the qualifications and duties of the clerk's office. As clerk, I will continue to bring the township into the 21st century, streamlining the bookkeeping process. I will continue to look into ways to save money for the township. I would like to see more retail stores, but still keep our rural atmosphere. I am confident that if I am elected clerk, I will do the best of my ability to serve the residents with the utmost respect. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hurst. Ms. Barnes, your closing statement?
My closing statement would be, I would love to have the opportunity to implement great and true leadership in Sumpter Township. I think that we need fresh water, fresh new water in Sumpter Township, meaning that we need some youth, we need more youth. We have 30 years of the same implemented leadership. I see nothing for our young people. I don't see no one that's willing to bring anything to implement anything for the youth. That's something that we need. Some after-school programs, we need some doctor's offices, we need a whole lot. I feel like we're in a well that's contaminated with parasites in it, the same old well, and we need fresh water, not gray water, fresh water.
Thank you very much. We'd like to thank the candidates who participated in tonight's forum for the Sumpter Township Clerk. Because there are no Republican clerk candidates, it's very likely that the winner of the August 7th primary election will also win the November election. At the primary election on August 7th, voters will need to choose either a Republican, Democratic, or Libertarian Party ballot, and your choices for candidates in the primary are restricted to that party. That is not the case for the general election. You can go back and forth in the general election. We're now going to take a quick break, say goodbye to the clerk candidates, and welcome the treasurer candidates. So give us 5 minutes and we'll be back with you.